Honorable the Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh, Dr. Amartya Sen, Dr. Anbumani Ramdas, Mrs. Panubaka Lakshmi, Dr. David Fleming, Rajat Gupta, Mr. Hota, Dr. Srinath Reddy, ladies and gentlemen. The launch of the Public Health Foundation of India today, through its auspicious inauguration by the Prime Minister, in the gracious presence of dignitaries from India and abroad, is a landmark event in the annals of India's public health. Science and technology are integrally linked to public health. The causes of diseases, the channels through which they spread, the magnitude of their occurrence in the population, and the potential means for their prevention and cure, all of these have to be unraveled by robust scientific methods. Technology that then steps in to develop the tools by which interventions for prevention, diagnosis and treatment can be administered in a simple, cost-effective and widely applicable manner. Public health, however, determines the priorities by which science must conduct research and identifies the pathways through which technology must be applied for improving health of the population. To put it simply, science discovers, technology develops, and public health delivers. My ministry will take all necessary measures to strengthen this natural and necessary alliance between science and technology and public health. Our scientific agencies and laboratories will be happy to work closely with the Public Health Foundation of India and other institutions engaged in health research to strengthen the scientific basis for our health planning and to develop contextually appropriate technologies which can advance health programs. The 20th century was characterized by an unprecedented rate of rise in life expectancy. This was made possible not only by economic development and social transformation, but also by a rapid expansion of knowledge in life sciences. Other sciences too have contributed to improvements in health by making innovative technologies possible. Despite this, 1/3 of humanity is still unable to derive the benefits of modern healthcare facilities. This has been further accentuated by the technological and financial asymmetry between developed and low and middle income countries. Only around 1% of the new pharmaceutical products introduced in the global market in the last 30 years were meant for diseases afflicting the developing world. While there is a noticeable increase in innovative activity, it is still extremely low. The challenge of public health in India is the unacceptable fact of inequity. For about 400 million people, the most basic measures of health, neonatal, infant and child survival, maternal mortality, life expectancy and others, provide statistics that are easy to recite but nearly impossible to comprehend. It is as if we are witness to the terrible time warp in which the great scientific and technological advances of the 20th century, advances that are taken for granted in urban areas, have simply left out untouched large sections of our people. The unmet healthcare needs of these sections are vast. Also, the gap between the rich and the poor has grown despite advances in science and technology and healthcare. Bridging the gap is in part an achievable goal of science and technology by solving the most demanding of scientific and technological design challenges. Effective and appropriate technology, literally taking designed solutions to unprecedented levels. The gap between rich and poor will not be bridged without both the innovation of science and technology and the will and resources of society to deliver. Yet there is hope. It is encouraging to note that a new moral transformation has emerged in parallel with the science and technology advances that has profoundly expanded the rights of individuals to good health and by extension the responsibilities of society, including those who practice science and technology. I believe that the 21st century will see an even faster expansion of our scientific knowledge in life sciences and other allied sciences. The knowledge must be effectively used to improve both the quality and the quantity of human life. Building capacity in public health can help to accomplish that. Without that capacity to deliver, the benefits of science and technology will be confined to a few and not reach the broad mass of our population. I congratulate the Public Health Foundation for undertaking this commendable effort to enhance the strength of public health expertise in our country through a network of public health institutes. I am confident that these institutions will build a platform whereupon a strong edifice of public health can be erected. I wish you all the very best in your endeavors. Thank you.